Good evening, everyone. This is the Harbor Shellfish Advisory Board, Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. I'd like to call this meeting to order and have a motion to approve tonight's agenda, please.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion's made by Mr. Anderson, seconded by Mr. Sherwin to approve tonight's agenda. All in favor, Mr. Sherwin?
Aye.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Ms. Mayo?
Aye.
Mr. Brace?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Mr. Franzuto?
Aye.
Thank you. Draft minutes, August 5th, 2025. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? Are there any revisions,
Yeah, I
suggestions?
didn't do the minutes.
They haven't been done, all right.
No, we didn't approve the ones back to August. Or August 5th. It's the ones that were last sent out, and when our last meeting, we couldn't approve them.
Oh, okay. Well, I did do those, and I did send them out for that meeting, so.
So I'd make a motion to approve the August 5th minutes as written. What will we go back?
I wasn't here, so I gotta stay.
Shall we wait on this? Nobody else has looked at it. We don't have a second.
Well,
All
Senate
right.
I sent it for the 19th,
Mhm.
so assuming everybody looked at it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Motion's been made to approve August 5th minutes by Mr. Anderson, seconded by Mr. Franzuto. All in favor, Mr. Anderson,
Aye.
Mr. Franzuto,
Aye.
Ellen, were you here? You want to vote on this? Approving minutes, August 5th. You were at the meeting.
Yes. Aye.
Okay. Jim,
I'm gonna stay second here.
Mr. Brace,
Aye.
chair votes aye as well. Thank you. Nothing I can think of, Chairman. Anything from the Harbor Master?
She's not in attendance.
Right. Natural Resources Department. Tara has notified us she and her staff are conducting dives, will not be present. This is a report for 8/19. August 19th, we did not have a quorum, so I'll read this into the minutes, announcements. This is from Natural Resources Department. Wednesday, September 10th, 4:30 to 7 PM, Nantucket Coastal Climate Summit. In quotations, understanding local change, free community event sponsored by Linda Loring, Nantucket Conservation Foundation, and the Great Harbor Yacht Club. Registration is required. Also on September 10th, with a conflicting time slot, select board meeting for public hearing on the shellfish regulation update and eelgrass management plan adoption. 5:30 PM, question mark, I imagine means where does it land on the agenda? Meeting will begin at 5:30 PM. That would be next Wednesday, or week after tomorrow. Water quality, continuing with WQ water quality and HAV samples through end of October. Shellfish hatchery, the hatchery is officially shut down with the last larvae released on August 7th, 2025, with a total of 125 million released between Nantucket and Mattocket harbors. Imagine that's 125 million scallop seed. Keeping a few things going to facilitate the last scheduled public hatchery tour on 8/26. Field work, processing lots of spat, most recent line deployed on June 30th and soaked for 6 weeks at totals that typically represent a whole season between both harbors. 97,000 spat with the concentration in the head of the harbor. Entering field and dive survey season for eelgrass and scallop abundance for benthic surveys. And also our larval releases. Surveys start September 2nd and go through September 12th. Benthic surveys equate to 52 dives, and after those are complete, staff will follow up on release dives at the end of September and early October, equating to around 20 survey dives. These surveys will help us with any seed management activities that may need to happen prior to or during the scallop season. Interns and seasonal help is wrapping up due to school work commitments. And we will have one seasonal support staff stay on through the end of October. Projects through the Brant Point Shellfish Hatchery. Number one, dredge study, draft of experimental study design undergoing review. Slated for October 2025. This could be delayed depending upon feedback. Don't anticipate any gear determinations for scalloping year 25-26. Number two, working on RFP for design and permitting for new dock at the boathouse. Anticipate formal posting September, October 2025. That's interesting. New dock. Working on a contract addition to water quality sample contract to include a published yearly report card through SMAST. Using our long-term to current year data comparison, considering other regional water quality and nuances of Nantucket and initiatives that may be impacting the outcome. Items that could help move the ball forward. Review draft list of BMPs for commercial scalloping that can be used in apprentice program. Remember, this is first draft. Come support shellfish regulation update and the eelgrass management plan adoption at select board meeting on September 10th in person, or consider writing a letter in support of those items. That is it for the natural resources report. Any comments, questions for later on? And we do have staff present at the meeting. Scott?
My question will be to Jim. Did anybody come and inspect your dredges? You know, there was talk that you had modified stuff and that either Tara or
I mean,
the warden was gonna check you.
JC has looked in the past, but not like a measurement / weight or anything like that.
Okay.
I think they're still haven't done the experimental testing with them yet. I think they're doing October, so that's I think Tara mentioned they're doing the fall.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anybody else? Questions or comments on natural resources report? I think this is quite interesting, design and permitting for new dock at the boathouse. I don't know how the board feels, but I think, it would be nice to, have some input on the design. Always been an advocate for that dock, being multi-purpose. If there were a couple of dolphins out there and a T at the end of it, like the Coast Guard has, it could be good for emergency docking for a disabled fishing vessel or large vessel such as the Tall Ship Lynx, which has tied up at Coast Guard Station in the past, but they're being limited to be able to do that now when Hurricane Erin went by to our east. They ended up going to Woods Hole. And because they really need to be facing east, being up against a bulkhead at the end of Strait Wharf or the town pier is not really an option for them with a heavy boat like that. It would be pounding its side against the bulkhead. So that's just my 2 cents on that pier. Anybody anticipate board members being able to attend the select board meeting September 10th?
I can.
Yeah,
I plan on it.
great.
I'm still learning.
I don't have my calendar with me, but I'd like to say at this point that I can attend as well. I'm sure more of us that are there to support this, maybe the smoother it will go, and any questions the select board may have can be answered for them to help make their decision go smoother. Anybody else? Natural Resources report? Old business, amendments to town shellfish regulations. I think we've covered that. They will be before the select board on September 10th. Any comments? Inadequate ditch dredging to enhance and improve herring runs. Mr. DeCosta ran into me a few nights ago, said he'd be at this meeting. Sure, he has a good reason not to be, and that's okay. Comments, questions on the Mattocket ditch dredging?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Franzuto, please.
Yeah, I can just tell you that it's referenced 3 different times in the harbor plan, so I think we've made our point that it's important to us and it's memorialized in there, so.
Okay, good. Thank you, Dave. Anybody else? Any new observations, Scott?
No, water just still moving very slow in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it flows, but you don't see a lot of fish coming in and out.
It's very shallow. It's like, yeah, maybe that deep.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I was hoping that actually a little bit during Aaron was gonna breach out of the other end of Long Pond. It started to, but it didn't flush enough water and
yeah. All right, next item in old business is update on progress for potential intertidal oyster farming for Sean Fitzgibbon and other growers. So I believe all of you received an email I forwarded to you from Joe Manella. And it's certainly detailed well. There could be some items that are, have questions that need to be answered by staff. I asked Joe if he could be at this meeting, and he's involved in the dives with Natural Resources Department. But I'm sure he'll be able to come here at a future meeting, and if there's anything he can't answer, Mr. Carlson should be able to answer for us. It's still my understanding that if Mr. Fitzgibbon wants to try to get approval for any space that would be new and not already mapped, he really needs to identify this area and formally request it. Seems like the chain of events, whether it starts with the state or Natural Resources Department, we really need to have that explained to us as well. Or possibly getting those winter oversights at the Haulover area approved for year-round use, which to me seems like it would be maybe the easier route to go. I myself am still in favor of supporting Mr. Fitzgibbon on being able to obtain some intertidal area to assist in his growing operation. Curious how the rest of the board feels about that, just so we know we're moving forward together or not. Mr. Anderson?
I'm in favor for it, but he's also several times he said that he's gonna do his own dive surveys and bring stuff back in the very beginning, and I've never seen any of that. And to me, it seems like the town's not gonna go say, we're gonna go do all our surveys just for one person. So I think he has to take the bull by the horn and try to at least identify areas. I mean, I'll turn this so everybody can see. These are the 2 intertidal spots that have been awarded or are out there right now to Simon Edwards and to the Bender location. But if you look at the end of this, there's a line that goes through in a small little diamond that could have a small area of intertidal that's not been awarded. At least that's my interpretation of this. Then the other end, there's an Xed out area, whether there's something wrong with that area now or not.
Going up to that corner, you're pointing to, that's private property beyond that red line.
Beyond that red line.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's that brand new house that
Well,
they tore down, the one that's, yeah.
I know.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Franzuto, please.
Yeah, I agree with Scott. However, you know, he needs to identify an area that can be surveyed, and then Natural Resources can put that forward to the state. However, I still feel the same way I did the last time we talked about this. We need to do an area large enough to give everybody the opportunity to have an intertidal zone too. Because well, not if, Mr. Fitzgibbon, you know, clearly stated that these other guys' production is far superior to his because of the intertidal zone. And I certainly understand that, because I'm working up in Wellfleet and I see it. But my point is every grant holder needs to be afforded the opportunity of an intertidal zone. So he needs to identify an area, Natural Resources needs to agree, and then move that forward to the state to get it formally surveyed and approved by the state. Not just a piece for Mr. Fitzgibbon.
I agree with that as well. Dave, Jim?
I would agree with Dave as well. I think I don't think it's unreasonable for every grower to have a section of intertidal zone to use. I know that wasn't the case initially when the leases were all set up. But I don't think it's unreasonable that everybody should have space to do that. There was a piece on that in Pulpus Harbor that I don't believe is being used. I don't know if
There's a bundle of
story
spots
what that
there.
is, but
I
I believe that was for cohogs or clams maybe at one point, but I don't know what the story of that is at the moment. Yes, West Pulpus.
I can speak to that just briefly. If I remember correctly, it's been tried a couple times. Doug Smith actually had a lease in there. And it just didn't get enough flow and flush, and was also completely saturated with worms. And
Gotcha.
it just wasn't successful. Not that it, you know, couldn't be surveyed again. But to your point, Jim, you know, I don't remember, and I'm normally pretty good with the dates, but I don't remember when we did the initial surveys for the big piece up at the head of harbor and the extension of the piece along Pacama, but it's been 30 years. So I don't think that the state would have much pushback if we identified an area that we wanted to expand and just go through the process to get it approved, and then offer those parcels, you know, once you've got it mapped out and approved, then map out those parcels and afford everybody the opportunity to apply.
Dave, you are aware that either 2 or 3 already have intertidal space. Yes, okay. Just clarifying that.
But like I said the other day, you know, that's there's no favoritism or it basically was first come, first serve. Whoever took over an existing grant or applied for a new grant, applied for a location, and it was approved. Those sites happen to be intertidal.
Thank you, Dave. Anybody else? Mr. Brace, anything?
Yeah, I just agree with everybody, but I think we need Mr. Manella here. And with backup from Tara, clearly we want the town to find the space. We can wait for Sean to find his space, But if we want a space for everybody, I don't think Sean's gonna go out there and try and find it for everybody. He's gonna find his spot.
Sure. I think one thing too to consider is like, Emil Bender's site is totally intertidal, like he has the intertidal lease for that, or the set up on intertidal completely, which is a little bit different than most of the other growers who are mostly in the head of the harbor and some intertidal. I guess the other question too would be ask Sean, like, what's a reasonable size piece that he needs to do what he needs to do? It's an acre, is it 2 acres? Did he mention that before?
Yeah, he said 2
2
acres.
acres, okay.
But he said even less would
Be enough.
work for him, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
You can take any.
Yeah, yeah.
gotcha.
Not being familiar with how far back this goes and knowing there were some other farmers, that no longer exist. Holgate, Richard Holgate had a lease, and Bruce Murray. As far as I know, both of them were in the Pacoma area. Are those areas now used by others? Does anybody know?
I think that's Emil's lease site now, but I'm not 100% sure.
This is the only stuff, he sent us everything you had in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's in use, but the other thing that I wanted to say about the comment that was made about he's not gonna go look for a parcel large enough to accommodate everybody. I would hope in the sense of working together that he would be part of that. But also, I would believe that you're not going to be able to just identify one parcel and in hopes that it gets approved and becomes useful. I think you're going to have to identify a couple parcels, give the state some options, and not be disappointed if none of those work out, but at least give it a try in a couple different locations. But the legwork has to be done. Natural Resources needs to put in an application, and we need to get moving on
That sounds perfectly logical, Mr. Franzuto. Just to clarify, Mr. Brace, if Mr. Manella is going to need any backup, as you put it, they'll have to come from Jeff.
All right, yeah, I mean,
Well, Tara's kind of made it clear that, with her husband involved in this,
oh, yeah,
it's best that, she recuse herself in a certain way anyway. I think with general information, she's certainly willing to share, but when it comes down to discussion on individuals, it's probably, logical for her to have to step back.
yeah.
Anybody else? Okay. Eelgrass management plan.
When, for the bomb surveys, is it 10 days that they're doing it?
Yes,
10 days from today,
yes.
or probably the rest of this week and then part of next week, right? So, so potentially Joe could be at our next meeting
Yes,
on the 16th.
correct. Yes,
So we should maybe reach out to him.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Because then our next meeting is the 7th, which is 3 weeks from the 16th. We have one of our leap months this month with 5 Tuesdays, September. So hopefully, yes, they can make it. If not, they can't, and we deal with it in October. Do we have anything to discuss on the eelgrass management plan? Nothing. This is part of what will be before the select board. Yes, on the 10th. Shellfish regulation update and eelgrass management plan. will be discussed and considered for adoption at the select board meeting September 10th. New business, reappointment of Harbor Shellfish Advisory Board representative on the Coastal Resilience Advisory Committee. Mr. Brace has held this position for quite some time. Is this something you wish to continue to do, Mr. Brace?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion?
I'd like to make a motion to reapprove Peter Brace as our representative.
I can second.
Motion's been made by Mr. Anderson to reappoint Mr. Brace as Harbor Shellfish Advisory Board's representative on the Coastal Resilience Advisory Committee. It's seconded by Mr. Sherwin. Any discussion? All in favor, Mr. Sherwin?
Aye.
Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Ms. Mayo?
Aye.
Mr. Franzuto?
Aye.
Mr. Brace, do you
Aye.
vote on yourself? And the chairman votes aye as well. Thank you, Mr.
Aye.
Brace. Draft harbor update plan. Any discussion there?
No, the public comment period closed August 31st. I know that they're making changes and updating to the comments that they receive because I've been on the phone with them a couple times this past week. So they're making those changes and then, we'll get it to the selectmen and then on to the state.
Thank you, Mr. Franzuto. Any public questions or comments? Two members of the public with us, raise your hand if you have any questions or comments, please. Any items anybody would like to have on the agenda for our next meeting, which is September 16th, 2 weeks from today? Before we close the meeting, Mr. Franzuto, I'd just like to quickly ask you, and don't have to make this lengthy now, but maybe to be able to discuss in the future, because I'm sure you're familiar with the pier at the Shellfish Hatchery, and your thoughts on that pier, being made heavy duty enough and to accommodate, as I mentioned before, possible, large disabled vessel or a vessel like the Lynx that may be here in the harbor during a storm. If there's something you could think about over the next 2 weeks, that would be helpful in that discussion. I know I brought this up in the past, and I was thinking more towards the Lynx being able to dock there on a lengthier amount of time, allowing the public to gain access to the deck of the boat, tour the boat without going out on a sail, help the Lynx, take donations from walkaboards. Costs $500,000 a year for the Lynx to stay afloat. And I was just recently out on a sail. I usually go on a sail every year on board, and I think it's a wonderful addition to our harbor. But I think access by walkaboards would certainly help them tremendously. But Tara had mentioned, and also Sheila had mentioned, that if the public is going to use that dock to walk aboard, then there has to be public restrooms available. And Tara also mentioned that they take in their water for the hatchery nearby. I believe the inlet pipe is actually around Brant Point. So they're not taking in so much harbor water and actually taking in fresher water that comes in with the tides. But anyhow, since this dock is anticipating design and permitting, it would be nice if we could reinstitute some discussion on this.
I'll certainly give it some thought and I'll reach back into the memory and see if I can remember why it was configured when I rebuilt it. Rebuilt it. I don't remember if it was limited because of permitting or if it was limited because of lack of additional funding. I just don't remember, but I'll figure that out.
All right. Or was it limited because of extending out too far and possibly hindering Coast Guard movement around it? I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
anyhow,
there's definitely a navigation, restriction there, but let's give it some thought and talk about it and we'll make some recommendations.
thank you, Dave. Anything else for tonight, or I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Motion's made by Mr. Brace, seconded by Mr. Anderson to adjourn tonight's meeting. Our next meeting, September 16th. All in favor, Mr. Anderson,
aye.
Mr. Sherlin,
Hi.
Ms. Mayo,
Bye.
Mr. Franzuto,
Aye.
Mr. Brace.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. This meeting is adjourned at 5:34. We began at 5:02. Good night, everyone.